It goes without saying that Alastor from Hazbin Hotel is absolutely fantastic. I'd go as far as saying that he's the best character of the whole bunch. Aside from Nifty, because every scene with that little maniac makes me laugh, and makes me laugh aggressively hard.
Sometimes I kill mother bugs in front of their children as a warning to others. Yay, pain!
But Alastor is by far one of the most enjoyable parts of the show, despite having not as much screen time as other members of the main cast in the episode so far, in addition to the pilot, as he only shows up in the last third. And when watching the show, I tried to figure out the reason as to why he's such fun to watch, and then it finally hit me. Because he's a villain, and he clearly knows how much of a villain he is, and enjoys every millisecond of it. Especially when you compare him to the other overlords, each one of them having their own goals, drives, and wants. The three V's are driven by prestige, power, and general ambition. Carmela wants some form of security from the heavenly armies, and who can blame her for that given the circumstance? Serpentius wants, much like the V's, prestige and notoriety, but what are Alastor's goals? We already know that he's an egotistical sadist who's feared, respected, and hated by the denizens of Hell and even other overlords, thanks to the immense amount of power he was able to obtain, the overlords themselves appearing to be able to work together when all is said and done, but Alastor makes himself separate from the rest, as though he simply went to their little meeting due to it being more of an obligation rather than something he felt like doing. So, what are his wants? I mean, he has a massive amount of power. He clearly doesn't give a damn about the hotel, Charlie's goals, or frankly anything else unless it gives him a leg up in the situation. So, what is it that drives him specifically?
Why do you want to help me if you don't believe in my cause?
Consider it an investment in ongoing entertainment for myself. I want to watch the scum of the world struggle to climb up the hill of betterment, only to repeatedly trip and tumble down to the fiery pit of failure.
And there we go, and that's about it. He just wants to have a little fun, and much like the clown prince of crime before him, just wants to be a chaotic evil, and being that he's a showman who clearly loves what he does, certainly adds to the fun of his character. And to compare him once again to the Joker, he certainly knows how to bring a flash of style and presence to every scene that involves him. And when he's on screen, we as members of the audience want to see him be as villainous as he can be to whomever he chooses to target, because that's what the villain is meant to do. If we had an episode or section of one dedicated to him in much the same vein as we did Angel Dust and Husk, the atmosphere, villainous vibe, and threat would diminish like sunlight on a cloudy day. I'm actually in the midst of editing a video that involves a character whose villainy is undercut and thoroughly damaged by certain writers when they make this person three-dimensional or tragic. But this little video idea came to me out of nowhere, so I thought I'd knock it out while it was still fresh in the mind. And seeing how we're in the modern era where writers and filmmakers go almost out of their way to give multiple angles to characters, typically a villain, to make them appear as three-dimensional as possible so we as viewers can say, hey, I can relate to that, or I can understand their point of view. On some level, it's actually great to see a traditional villain again. One could argue that the old-school evil for the sake of being evil trope character is lazy, has been overdone, or simply isn't that interesting when compared to characters that aren't so static and go through various arcs. But considering how individuals like the Joker, Jack Horner from Puss in Boots, Aku from Samurai Jack, Hades from Hercules, and Alastor are as popular and as well liked as they are, I would need to call citation needed on that one. Because you can have someone like Alastor be a static character throughout the story if they serve their purpose in the narrative effectively enough. And considering that he's a demon overlord who not only enjoys causing mayhem and turmoil, but is also excellent at doing so, I would say that he is perfect for the role of the villain of the story. Especially when you consider that he is the perfect parallel to Charlie and what she's trying to do with her hotel. Given the fact that she's the princess of hell and the daughter of Lucifer, she could very easily become the next Alastor if she wanted to. It also helps Alastor that he, much like Nifty, is a bit of a wild card to the point where you can take a guess at what he'll do next, but you can't be too sure, and it may be advised to bring a helmet with you. Take the scene where Serpentius apologizes.
Oh, not many people have been able to take even this much off me.
It must have meant quite a lot to you.
He could have easily reattached it or perhaps taken it to his tailor, as he had planned to do so already.
It looks as though I need a visit to the tailor.
But instead he burnt the piece of cloth to ashes, thinking it would damage the Snake Boy's ego. Whatever he could do that could cause more damage that hasn't already been done. Plus, the fact that he struts about with his devilishly smug smile and his head always held high makes him all the more fun to enjoy when he does evil things. It's really hard not to like a villain who really enjoys what they're doing at all times. And we as the audience love it, because deep down, as much as we enjoy characters with complex backgrounds and motivations to make the plot more intriguing, we long to see a villain like Alastor behave like a villain should. Plus, when you consider that we've only seen glimpses of what the radio demon can do, mostly due to the fact that every time he does something, it's usually in the shadows or somewhat off screen, I say we've only scratched the surface in seeing what kind of hell he can truly unleash. And I am psyched to see what delicious fun he'll have in store for us in the coming episodes. If you've made it this far in the video, thank you for watching, and please hit the like button if you enjoyed. Normally I try to plan these scripts out in advance to make sure I get the details efficiently hammered out, but for something I just threw together in the space of about 30 minutes, I think this turned out rather well. If you have anything you'd like to share about Alastor or the subject of this video, please let me know in the comments section below. But for the sake of those who have not yet seen Hazbin Hotel, please keep things spoiler free and subscribe for more content if you liked what you saw here. Godspeed, and I hope to see everybody in the next one.